Now on Nightside, how budget cuts could eliminate the LGBTQ plus suicide hotline.
There's more warm weather ahead for the weekend, but a few more clouds are on the way as well. I'll let you know if there will be any showers to go along with them.
And a shooting in Spokane this morning leaves one person dead while impacting local businesses as well. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Thanks so much for staying up with us here on your Friday night. I'm Derek Dice. Major Crimes is looking for the person who shot 2 people at a Maverick gas station in Spokane early this morning. That gas station was closed until around noon today while officers looked for evidence. 2 people were shot. One of them died at the Maverick. The other is being treated at the hospital. This violence also impacted nearby businesses. Bullet holes damaged one side of the Hennessy Funeral Home across the street.
I came in the back, so I didn't notice them right away. But when I opened up the doors, I went and looked outside and was a little bit scared of what I saw.
The Daily Habit coffee stand was closed for half of the day while officers searched for evidence. The owner said it was important to her that her customers and employees were safe, but said it was disappointing to lose half a day of business due to violence.
Good morning, 988, how may I help you?
A leaked budget proposal revealed the U.S. could eliminate the LGBTQ plus suicide hotline. The specialized service is part of the 988 suicide hotline. Since it began in 2022, the hotline has been contacted 1.2 million times. In February of this year alone, the service was contacted more than 58,000 times. That's 2,100 contacts per day or 1.5 contacts per minute. But the Trump administration is considering slashing the program as part of a $40 billion budget cut to the Department of Health and Human Services. LGBTQ plus advocates are worried eliminating this program will put lives at risk. Matthew Danielson with Spokane Pride echoed that concern, saying when you call this number, you're connected to specialized counselors who are specifically trained in this area.
You don't go to the doctor for the same thing all the time. That's why there's specialties. But this being a queer-specific and LGBTQ-specific hotline was really important because sometimes they're not as comfortable talking to other people.
If Congress follows through on this budget proposal, the crisis number could be defunded on October 1st when the new fiscal year begins. A nuisance property in North Spokane that some are calling Camp Dope is growing. Neighbors say more campers and people are showing up, and it's causing safety issues throughout the neighborhood. The property is on Atlantic Street, just off of Francis, directly behind the Screaming Yak Sports Bar. Neighbors say since campers have been on the property, they've seen an increase in open drug use throughout the neighborhood and property theft. It's made many of them feel scared to leave their homes.
And I have kids. I have a 9-month-old daughter. I certainly don't want people doing drugs right at my truck while I'm trying to load my daughter in the car.
The sheriff's office says because this property is privately owned and that person has given permission to these campers to be there, it's difficult to move them out. But the sheriff's office is working with that property owner to clean the area up. The Washington State Hospital Association recently recognized multi-care Inland Northwest hospitals for how they're addressing the growing opioid crisis in our community. Multicare's MOUD program is making a difference in our community through a unique 2-person team. Nurse Sarah Welty and Shandell Gill work together as the only hospital-based medication for opioid use disorder team in our area. They help patients battling opioid addiction with a personal approach that sets them apart.
I get to kind of go in and be like, I know everything hurts. I know what that feels like. I know what you're going through. How can I help?
After helping patients through withdrawal, the team works to connect them with community partners for continued treatment. Both say they're grateful to be part of this one-of-a-kind program here in Spokane. All right, we're looking forward to a warm and sunny start to the weekend. Chris Crocker is here with that first alert forecast.
Oh, yes, I'm excited about this weekend. Temperatures in the 70s, and it will not be a cloudless sky. In fact, take a look at our time lapse from this evening. We're watching some clouds filtering our late day sun and our starlight this evening, but those clouds will be in and out over the weekend. Expect a fair amount of sunshine to go along with them. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right right now as we see these clouds streaming up. All of the precipitation, however, is well to the south and should mainly stay to the south. Here's our chance of rain on Saturday. A slight chance of rain in the central panhandle, also through the LC Valley and the Blue Mountains. Then we get into the southern panhandle. There's a better chance to see some of that light precipitation. But we're going to be dry in Spokane with high and mid-level clouds drifting through from time to time. A very warm start, almost 50 degrees at 7 o'clock. We'll be 60 by 10. Light winds throughout the day. Winds may pick up a little bit on Sunday, and we're going to see a temperature of 70 by 1 on our way to a high of 74. I will be back with the second half of your weekend forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, looking forward to it, Chris. Today, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown signed an ordinance into law that will make it easier for those experiencing homelessness to get a job. The Ban the Address ordinance makes it so potential employers can no longer ask applicants for an address when filling out a job application. Proponents say homeless people having to provide the address of a shelter or a P.O. box can lead to discrimination. The ordinance passed in City Council earlier this week in a 6-1 vote.
It is still an important step, and it's exciting too to learn that we're really making history tonight as the first city in the country to pass an ordinance like this.
As Councilman Paul Dillon shared, the night this ordinance was passed, Spokane is now the first city in the nation to sign this into law. It will go into effect in 30 days.
Spokane Chiefs enter the Western Conference Final Series against a squad they might not have expected to see, the Portland Winterhawks, who upset the Everett Silvertips in a thrilling 7-game series. This game opened up with no shortage of scoring. Chiefs are already up 1. Berkeley Catton finding Samarimba shooting and scoring to lift Spokane up 2-0. Now it's a 3-2 game, only 8 minutes in, and before the 10-minute mark, it's another Catton assist, this time to Shea Van Ohm. Absolute scenes in the arena, but the Winterhawks are still keeping pace. Josh Zakreski shimmies. He shakes into the ozone, striking to score Portland's third of the game. It's a 5-3 game, but we can't have a playoff Chiefs highlights roll without the goal king himself, Andrew Crystal, bagging another goal. It's 6 scores for Spokane, but wait, we still have more. Spokane scored 7, but the breakaway by Austin Ali Zarkanov makes it 8 goals. And the Chiefs end the night with a remarkable 10-4 win. Deep breath, a wild statement game for Spokane, scoring their most goals since February 1st and the most at home of any game all season. Stick around later in sports for a look at former Cougar Kyle Williams' reaction to his draft moment and a special look at a local Spokane Indian returning to home to play. Derek, back to you.
What a wild start to that series. All right, Jack, thank you. High schoolers in Spokane County got hands-on experience with human hearts and bones. Greater Spokane Incorporated and the UW School of Medicine brought dozens of high schoolers together for their business after-school program. Students got to examine hearts and look at x-rays to identify fractures.
I think when you're in high school, it's a little bit hard to decide what kind of career you want to do. And I think that it's a really awesome opportunity to get to see what we do here.
The students also got to work with ultrasound equipment and learned how to test reflexes. Around the world now, the doors to St. Peter's Basilica closed today, and the Vatican is now preparing for Pope Francis's funeral tomorrow. CNN's Rafael Romo is in Rome with the latest.
It was the final viewing day for mourners saying goodbye to Pope Francis. His body lying in state before the altar of St. Peter's Basilica. As they filed slowly past, Vatican officials urged the crowd to put their phones away and stop taking selfies. This after a number of people were seen holding their phones up while at the casket. For most visitors, however, the moment was kept peaceful and respectful.
It's a beautiful church, and there's a priest inside that gives you a blessing, and it's just such reverency, and it's very moving.
The doors to St. Peter's have now been closed to the public, and cardinals have conducted the formal rite of closing his coffin. In his will, released by the Vatican, Pope Francis asked that his tomb be, quote, simple, buried in the earth, not kept up on a traditional pedestal. It'll be located a few miles outside Vatican City at Santa Maria Maggiore Basilica. Basilica.
He feels at home here. He stopped here before and after every trip that he took overseas. So I think this is close to his heart.
His single wooden casket differs from those of many previous popes who had 3 coffins made of cypress, lead, and oak or elm.
He said he wanted a ceremony of a pastor, not as a king.
His will describes having a plain marker without decoration inscribed with only a name, Franciscus. A humble resting place for a pope whose legacy will endure generations.
Reaching out to people on the peripheries, inviting people, meeting them where they are, and trying to walk with them on their journey of faith.
Well, coming up, how businesses in Idaho are helping people protect their drinks from being spiked. And as measles cases spread throughout the country, the information doctors want families to have to keep them healthy.
You'll have to look closely for the pick of the night tonight. It is this morning's smiley face moon. You can see a little crescent of the moon on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And then the eyes are made up by Venus and Saturn. Pretty fun. Thanks to Mark Boat for getting up early and capturing this image. I'll have a weekend forecast to smile about after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Book your stay and play getaway today at Mystiquah.com.
All right, so let's begin.
Spend 2025 with Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Oh, no one else is clapping?
New Kimmel, weeknights on ABC.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. We're delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
96% of Subaru Foresters sold in the past 10 years are still on the road. That's more than Toyota RAV4. The Subaru Forester.
Drive a new Forester Premium for $374 a month at AutoNation Subaru.
4 News Now is brought to you by CARD, the Center for Asbestos-Related Diseases.
A new disease we've been telling you about, chronic wasting disease, is spreading throughout wildlife in Washington. So while they may be cute, the Department of Fish and Wildlife is letting people know about a new law that prohibits the feeding of wild deer, elk, and moose in order to help stop the spread of this disease. And if you see wildlife showing these symptoms, loss of fear of humans, lack of coordination, drooling, or significant weight loss, Fish and Wildlife asks that you call and report that sighting. All right, we're going to send things back over to Chris Crocker now for a look at our weekend forecast. I think most people are going to really like this.
Yes, it is a good-looking forecast, a little bit different than the past couple of days. We're not going to see as clear of bright blue skies as we had on Thursday and part of the day today. We'll be in the 70s, though, through Sunday. Much warmer at night. Mostly dry conditions with some spotty mountain thunderstorms possible. Showers are the more likely scenario in the mountains. Our high temperatures today made it up into the 70s, 74 in Spokane, 73 in Coeur d'Alene, our second warmest day of the season, 81 in Moses Lake, and 80 degrees in Lewiston. We're going to be a little bit warmer in some spots and a little bit cooler in others. Lewiston Washington, you're going to have a few more clouds and the possibility of showers, which will keep things a little bit cooler. That's also going to be the case for Kellogg, but the further north and west you go, the more sunshine you're going to see, and 80s for Omak, Grand Coulee, Moses Lake, and the Tri-Cities, and right around the Spokane area, lots of 70s. 71 in Spirit Lake. The cool spot around the region will be at 77 in Meade and 9 Mile and downtown Spokane. Now let's take a look at our forecast radar, starting off at the current time. Dry conditions. We are looking to the south as these clouds move up. Here's noon on Saturday with a few hit and miss showers through the central panhandle down into the southern panhandle. There is skiing tomorrow at Lookout Pass and at 49 degrees north, so you may get showered on, but it will not last long. Here's 6 o'clock Saturday. A hit and miss sprinkle over the mountains of northeast Washington and North Idaho. Otherwise, we're going to be dry Saturday night and into Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Dry conditions. You've seen these clouds moving in and out. There'll be times where the sun is bright and blue and our skies are, and others where we'll have a few more clouds and then some isolated showers on Sunday. We're watching this area of low pressure sending us some moisture, not precipitation. A cold front drops down Sunday that may bring those isolated showers to North Idaho. And then Tuesday, finally, a chance of some more meaningful widespread precipitation, which we will be overdue by, well, we already are overdue for a good soaking rain. Hopefully this materializes. A little bit of a dip in temperatures by Tuesday, but then we warm right back up again heading into next weekend. 76 on Friday with sunshine. Boy, if that could last through next weekend, that would be timely.
Yeah, you love to see it, Chris. Thank you. Well, concerns for marine life in California as researchers in Los Angeles say they've recovered the bodies of more than 50 dead or dying dolphins in just the last week. The cause? Toxic algae bloom. This algae produces an acid which causes marine animals to become aggressive, suffer disorientation, and can lead to death. Experts say algae blooms are a natural phenomenon, but debris from wildfires and fertilizer runoff can make them more toxic. This is the 4th year in a row that toxic algae bloom has affected the lives of marine animals, but experts are saying this year is the worst yet. In News for Your Health tonight.
There are complications including pneumonia, including seizures, including permanent disability, and of course death.
New studies are showing measles could become a new endemic in the U.S. if vaccination rates don't improve. Most people receive the vaccines needed as children, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, vaccine rates are down. Some experts say it's a response to mixed messages from Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. There are current outbreaks of the disease in many southern states and 5 confirmed cases here in Washington. The CDC recommends children receive the first dose of the measles vaccine when they're 12 to 15 months old and then get the second dose between ages 4 and 6. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the Nez Perce County Prosecutor's Office is partnering with local businesses in Idaho to raise awareness of the issue. Reusable cup covers, like the one on your screen here, will be given out at different locations. You can use these to cover your drink while you're out to prevent anyone from slipping a drug into your cup. For a full list of locations where these will be handed out, you can visit KXLY.com and find this story. Well, they're claiming to be a U.S. Marshal and say you need to pay money to cancel a warrant. The warning from real federal officials about this new phone scam.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail and then decided I wanted to go hike in the Himalayas. I was not 20 years old. I was 64 years old. We had an absolutely incredible experience. We trekked about between 90 and 92 miles, and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for art supports from Good Feet? I mean, come on. I'm Dale, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do.
in every Chevy truck. Like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $5,350 total value on this Silverado. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $3,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Want to sleep in an extra hour?
Yes.
French toast and homemade syrup?
Yes.
Hey, want to play 9?
Yes.
How about a credit union with low loan rates, no hidden fees, online banking, and friendly member services?
Yes.
Experience how good yes can feel.
After a car wreck, the longer you wait, the harder it can be to get what you deserve. Don't let big insurance get ahead of you.
Our team acts quickly to handle everything for you.
After my recent accident, I knew I needed help, so I called Craig Swap and Associates. They really fought for me and treated me fairly every step of the way.
Don't wait. Call Craig Swamp and Associates today and let us handle it for you. One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
Welcome back. Green Acres Middle School in Spokane Valley is getting a brand new entrance to make the school safer. The Central Valley School District says adding an extra set of doors to its entrance will make the process of getting into the school more controlled. The $1.2 million project is funded by the district's 2024 levy.
Add more visibility to our secretaries and us administrators to see who's coming in and out of our building.
And if they're not safe, my kids aren't safe, then I have to answer to other people as well as also to answer to them.
The entrance at Green Acres is expected to be finished in August, but work has already started. 4 other schools in the Central Valley School District will have their entrances redone as part of this project. A scam alert to warn you about tonight. The U.S. Marshals Service is warning Washingtonians about a new phone scam. It involves scammers calling and claiming to be the marshal for the Eastern District of Washington, Craig Thayer. On the phone, they claim you have an active warrant for identity theft and you need to give them money to have that warrant canceled. But U.S. Marshals say they'll never request payment over the phone. If you receive a call like this, report it to your local marshal's office or to the Federal Trade Commission. Well, it's Arbor Day, and to celebrate, we're taking you on a special Air 4 adventure soaring above some of Spokane's most stunning trees. We'll also be showcasing the many benefits these leafy green giants bring to our community. Let's take you to the skies now in the Air 4 drone.
Trees mean a lot to us. They provide so many benefits in our community. So Arbor Day is really the day where we recognize how important that tree planting is, and it's our tree planting holiday. As a community too, we've said that trees are important. So when development happens, there's trees that are required as part of a design, really like a complete project. Includes trees and street trees, not just for aesthetics, but for all of the many benefits that they provide. Got environmental benefits such as mitigating stormwater runoff to avoid the dirty water from getting to the river. There's also economic benefits of trees. If trees are planted on the south side of a home or a building, there can be drastic energy savings as well. So you're not running your air conditioner all summer long. The shade really helps with that. There's a major difference between neighborhoods that are shaded and ones that aren't in Spokane. There can be a 13-degree difference, and that's major on our really hot days in the summer. So we're really working on our major initiatives, and we're looking to plant trees in the neighborhoods that need them the most, that have the fewest number of trees, so everybody can enjoy the benefits that trees provide in their neighborhoods.
All right, the Spokane Indians have a Spokane native pitching, and the former Mount Spokane Wildcat is finding his groove back here at home.
Well, the hometown kid has made his entrance, and our sports reporter Sydney Berger caught up with Stu Flesland. Listen to his story after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Prime Source Credit Union.
Get amped up. Idols Live, coast to coast. Sunday, it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame night.
You're slaying it.
The 2025 inductees are announced. James Taylor mentors, and a throwback performance by Carrie Underwood.
I have no words.
Then Monday, Your top 10 are revealed. Finalists perform iconic Idol tracks. Fantasia mentors, and you won't believe who drops in.
Outrageous.
Idol Live, coast to coast, Sunday and Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
It's the once-a-year spring tune-up event this week at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene.
Hi, I'm George, and I'm offering great deals on over 300 of the best rigs in the region.
And this weekend, when you purchase a vehicle from Cal, you can get up to $600 in free upgrades, like light bars, custom grills, or tires and rims to customize your ride, making it the perfect time to visit Cal.
Like the deals and love your wheels.
Just when you think you've got online safety figured out, a new app pops up, then another. Predators targeting your kids where you don't expect. I'm Natalie Grant. I'll show you the 21 apps you need to know and how to protect your family. Tuesday on Good Morning Northwest.
I'm JJ. I'm Tyler. We're with Kiona Vineyards, and we're here at Yokes Fresh Market. Our grandparents planted the first vineyard on what would become Red Mountain. Some of our legacy cultivars include Cabernet Sauvignon, Lemberger, and Chenin Blanc. The Lemberger is really exciting, right? It has really high red and blue fruit profile to it. We are a big little winery. Yokes has been a beautiful match for us culturally.
Check out Kiona Wines at Yokes Fresh Market.
92.9 CCU.
One of the best wide receiver prospects on the board following the first round, this guy right here. Only a matter of time before former Washington State Cougar Kyle Williams heard his name called. Take a listen.
Cleveland Patriots select Kyle Williams.
How about that for a moment? Williams taken with the 69th pick in the NFL draft by the New England Patriots. That's the view from his home tonight, making Williams the highest drafted Coug wide receiver since Gail Cogdill in 1960. He won Rookie of the Year and the NFL Championship in 1968. Now, this wideout brings much-needed speed and explosiveness to New England, recovering after a dismal 4-13 season.
With the 35th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Nick Emmanwori, DB, South Carolina.
That's Seattle legend Richard Sherman announcing the first pick. Of course, Nick Emmanwori. And those Seahawks also drafted tight end Elijah Arroyo and quarterback Jalen Milroe across the second and third rounds tonight. Emmanwori, you're seeing right here, top-rated safety in the draft, tremendous value. Arroyo, best tight end at the end of the selection with 17 yards per catch last season. And how about Milroe? He has a special motor, too, dashing for over 700 yards and 20 rushing touchdowns for Alabama last season. Seattle has 5 picks remaining for the final 3 rounds. That all starts tomorrow early at 9 a.m. Now, this season, the Indians added about half of a roster full of a lot of new faces, but there's one guy new to the Indians, but definitely not new to Spokane. Sydney Berger has a story.
As a Mount Spokane Wildcat, pitcher Stu Flesland was watching the Spokane Indians from these bright red chairs, and now he's looking for his family and friends out here while he's on the mound.
Being able to come out here and watch pro guys play at that age was really cool to me, and I looked up to them and wanted to be them.
Stu Flesland is now that guy, a Spokane Indian that has kids in the stands aspiring to be just like him.
It's just an awesome experience at Avista Stadium, watching from the crowd, and now getting to play on the field is even better.
Flesland played high school ball about a half hour from Avista Stadium, where he graduated from Mount Spokane. In high school, you get a mix of kids playing for fun and ones reaching for a bigger goal. Flesland's high school coach says it was always obvious where Stu wanted to be.
Boy, Stu walked in with dreams of being big from the get-go. He wanted to play college ball and beyond from day one.
From Mount Spokane, Flesland played at Boise State and UW during his college career before getting drafted to the Colorado Rockies. It didn't take anyone from back home too long to figure out what that could mean.
Now to have that full circle where, like, kids that we've coached at Mount Spokane, that we've grown up and seen, since they were really young, now in Spokane, wearing the Indians uniform, super exciting moment. Great for the area, great for Mount Spokane to be able to say, yeah, that kid went to our school, and he was a great kid and a great ball player, and we just get to watch him and cheer him on.
The game has always been in the Fleslands' blood. Stu and his sister Morgan, both lefty pitchers, won some pretty big games in their time as Wildcats.
I threw a no-hitter one time in high school, but then like 100 feet away on the softball field, my sister threw a perfect game, so I say that would be a pretty cool memory at Mount Spokane, yeah.
And to this day, Stu's game is still a family affair.
My mom's very vocal. I'll hear her from the stands every once in a while. My dad's a little quieter. He's just he'll text me after the game. Sometimes he'll try and break it down for me. And, yeah.
Sydney Berger, 4 News Now, Sports.
Thank you, Sydney, for the fun story. And the Spokane Indians in action, but not too much action at the ballpark. Aside from the fireworks tonight, Jared Thomas extending his on-base streak with a hit, but that's about it for the offense today in their first shutout loss of the season since night 2 against Everett. Tomorrow, Spokane returns for another 6:35 pitch to make up for the 2-0 loss, with more fireworks to follow. And not a great day for the M's either. They fall 8-4 to the mediocre Miami Marlins. Cal Quantrill allowing 5 hits and 4 runs in his almost 6 innings pitch. No Seattle players had a multi-hit game. Dylan Moore smacked his 5th home run of the season, so he gets a good play there. Mariners returning for Game 2 tomorrow at 6:40 p.m. Saw earlier in the cast, Spokane Chiefs rocking the Portland Winterhawks tonight 10-4. The barrage of 10 goals scored by 9 different skaters. Both Shea Van Ol and Berkeley Catton racked up 4 points on 1 goal and 3 assists each. Spokane scoring an absurd 5 goals in the first period. The win set Spokane up 1-0 in the Western Conference Finals. They'll host Portland again in Game 2 at Spokane Arena this Sunday evening. So just incredible what the Chiefs pulled off tonight. So excited what they can do and what's going to be another packed house for Game 2. We'd be lucky to see half as many goals in that game next.
It's just been really fun to have like this deep of a run for them for the first time in a long time.
They're getting it done.
Yeah. Jack, thank you. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
WSECU Cashback Checking. You give and give and give. Let's give you something back. Just use your debit card to earn. WSECU Cashback Checking. Let's credit union.
So you've been thinking about upgrading your air conditioner for a while now. But with tariffs right around the corner, that waiting could cost you big time. Fortunately, Bill's Heating and AC planned ahead and stocked our warehouse full of pre-tariff air conditioners. Same comfort, same quality, without the coming price hike. But this equipment won't last long, so don't wait until prices go up. Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing and our lowest price guarantee. Call Bill's Heating and AC today and lock in comfort before comfort costs more.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a tough new 2025 Tundra for just $539 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome to What's Next. For your community, for your career, and for the healthcare field. At Carrington College, we're training the next generation of allied healthcare professionals, bringing you the hands-on training to be ready for a career in healthcare. We're building on a proven legacy of career training, going back over half a century. So if you're ready to train for your career and make a difference in your community, we're ready for you.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Temperatures this weekend between 10 and 15 degrees above average in the 70s. Never hear any complaints about the 70s. People seem to be quite happy in that zone. Not too hot, not too cold, Goldilocks weather.
Exactly. Yeah, I think people are going to definitely be out and about.
Yes.
Getting the yards ready, you know, doing those Bloomsday training runs or what have you.
I don't know if I can do that very well. But
Not saying you specifically, but a lot of people will be for sure. So thanks so much for being with us here on Nightside. Everybody have a great weekend.